All right, guys, most property managers think that criminals are picking those units just randomly. They're not. I'm going to show you in today's episode on how having vacant units are being used against us in this field, and we're finding out about it each and every day. So here in today's episode, we're going to show you how just walking around checking a few things will keep you and your property safe, because today's criminals, they're finding out a lot of things, new ways each and every day. So let's go. What we found out is a lot of times that we're finding out that they're using the online, all of our listings. We love to list our properties online. However, what they're doing is they're using our online listings for our vacant units and figuring out what units are vacant in the properties and using this against us to break in those units. So we're going to look around at a few things that you can do, including walking around your property, making sure that the vacant units are secured, and not only just secured with locks, but you can also look at a few things online, such as door safety locks that'll go. So we're going to look at a few things, guys. Let's go. All right, so you might be asking, well, how do they find this out? So today, it's really easy what you can do. I'm not going to give you guys exactly the full breakdown. Wouldn't want to be reckless. But let's just say you have a lot of vacant units. What they're doing is they're utilizing a lot of your platforms, not going to name the platforms, to see which units are currently vacant. And when they see what vacancies you have, what building numbers, what buildings are vacant, they are using that to scope out the areas to figure out which units to break in. And especially if you're near a construction site, like a lot of the units are here in Nashville, what they're doing is utilizing some of the construction left tools and equipment and utilizing that to break into the units. So you want to make sure you utilize secondary locks. I'm going to show you guys a few ideas at Lowe's to kind of secure your deadbolt locks. But that's what we're seeing here, is that they're using the online platforms to find the vacant units and then notify some of your your weak points. So you want to go around. I'm going to go give you guys a little footage or a couple of little ideas. They're looking for things like, they know you're vacant. They also know if you have a lot of notices, if you're still doing paper notices, and after they see so many notices on the door, they're going to look for that. They're going to shake handles. They're going to look at all your vacants online. They're going to check to see if you have security. So make sure your security, if they're on site, they're actually on site inside of the building and not just patrolling the exterior. Or look at your contractor. You may need to upgrade it. So just a few things we want to keep a lookout for, and we're noticing this rise. So we're going to make sure today we secure all our vacants additionally, and we're going to make sure. Now, keep in mind, if there's somebody in there or you're not sure, call your local police department, have them escort you in there with them, do a non-emergency call, and just have them check it out. So, prep and prosper. Hope you guys know it's not just about risk. Safety is not just something that's unpredictable. We can kind of predict it as long as you stay on top of things. So, just to go through, we wanted this video to educate you guys and to just show you what we're seeing out here. Let's go. Nashville, different sides of Nashville, old Nashville, new Nashville. But if you have different communities, different gentrifications, you may have an issue, but it's all about how we handle it. Stay on top of things, patrol your area, and just make sure you're on top of things. Also, guys, remember, great leasing is not just leasing apartments. It's about protecting the environment that you have and also protecting your investment. So that's one of the things we want to do. Always want to put that first. Let's go. Risk, the inspection guy, Perp and Prosper. Let's go. So remember, too, one incident at a vacancy could kill your momentum in leasing. That incident on a vacant unit could cause your reputation online, your social media presence to really take a dive. So we don't want any incidents. We don't want to end up on the news channel. We just want to have positive reviews. So that's another thing we're looking at while we're checking all our vacants. So you guys are asking, so what's the solution then? Well, some of the things you can do. Secondary locks, look online, there are some deadbolt locks. I'll give you guys the exact, and I'll drop a link on them that you can use. Lighted timers, having security and patrol here, and also a neighborhood watch or a community that cares about themselves. These are just a few of the things you can do to help protect your vacant units. Make sure that your staff each day are checking your vacant units along with your maintenance staff and making sure that it's secured. So it's just a few things you can do. If you notice some notices or letters are still on the board after a couple days, go ahead and remove them. You can also check on your resident to make sure they're okay, but go ahead and remove all your paperwork from the door. If you notice people are out of town for a while, there's abandoned cars in your area, stolen cars in your area, contact and partner with your local police department to make sure things are taken care of. So these are just some of the things that you can do to make sure, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up to make sure you check in your vacant units, because this is a way that we're seeing included in our risk and some issues that we're seeing, and I want you guys to be aware of them. All right, one of the things property managers don't realize is that the first 72 hours after a unit is vacant or the person moves out is the most vulnerable. That's when individuals do notice patterns. You got to think, when you're posting notices or a sheriff department puts a notice on the door, individuals can see that notice. They can see the date that's on there, and then they're going to make sure they look at that date on there, and then they can use it to break inside of the vacant unit. So a couple of things you can do to make the unit not feel vacant. You can leave the lights on in there. That's another good thing. Leave the lights on, make sure the doors are locked. Try not to have a really good pattern to where everyone can find out. So it's little things you can do to make sure that your property doesn't look vacant. It's rarely one thing that's going to hurt occupancy. When vacancy is going to spiral and go downhill. So you just want to make sure that you have the ability to do that. Another thing you want to do is you can check your property. Come to your property after hours. Walk around your property. This is a really good tip. Walk around your property, see how your tenants, your residents, even your security officer respond. So you can come up after hours as long as it's safe, or on the weekends during the daytime to see how your complex responds. So a few other things you can do to make sure their vacants are secured. Let's go, Perp and Prosper. Remember, vacancy is an operational thing. It shows leadership. You don't have to accept bad vacancy or bad tenants that come into your apartment. So you want to make sure, as an owner and investor, you do what's right for your customers and your community. Perp and Prosper. Let's go, people. All right, guys, we're just checked out with our walkthrough, and then one of the things we're looking at now is our secondary door locks. So you can also use a deadbolt lock, such as a prime lock, door reinforcement. Go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, your local supply store, and look, there's these made out of sometimes steel, brass plates that's going to go over your deadbolt. That's going to add extra reinforcement to make sure that the individuals can't utilize a crowbar. There's also other things you can use, slide locks, security bolts from the inside, or door braces that you can use depending on the type of housing you got. But we want to make sure we give you guys some options to make sure that you're able to secure your vacant units. End of the day, we're going to go ahead and do one final walkthrough. Check all our doors, make sure our lightings. Also, make sure your stairwells are well lit. Change your light bulbs if you have to. Put door alarms on your enter and your exit doors to where if you have key fob or gate access and the doors are being propped open, you have an alarm that will go off, and it's going to continue to go off until the doors are closed. So just a few other items you can utilize. Use larger screws. Talk to your maintenance guys to make sure that they are up on the latest trends in security, safety, changing the door locks out. So we just want to make sure you have some options. So Prep and Prosper, that's what we do. Risk inspection guy. Let's go. Make sure you reinforce, check your units. We don't want to lose you any money. This is the channel to save the money, save money, and keep money in your pocket.